Hello everyone, this is Daryl. Okay, what I'm going to do, as you can see, first you see all of these obituaries. I got a whole stack of obituaries here. I got my grandmothers, there are a lot of obituaries. Alright, and I'm showing you these obituaries for a reason. First, as most of you know, there's a wealth of information in obituaries. You can find out when the individual passed, when they were born, the name of the funeral home, the date of the funeral, the place of birth, the individual's children, the individual's in-laws, the individual's parents, so on and so forth. So you have a lot of information within the obituaries. Now, there are going to be times when you're reading an obituary and it's going to list, let's say, all the grandchildren. Well, normally they'll list the grandchildren, but they won't tell you which grandchild belongs to which parent. They may list the in-laws, but they may not tell you which in-law belongs to which sibling. Well, this is what you do until you find out that information later. First, LTBF. Okay. That stands for link to be found. You got it? Link to be found. Now, that link to be found is going to be considered one of the individual's children. So let's say if the individual's name was Jane Doe. Well, under Jane Doe's list of children, she's going to have one listed as LTBF. You got it? Why? Because that's how you're going to link the children. So the LTBF would be that individual's last name. And you can put two question marks. You're not going to put two question marks. Sorry about that. The last name of the child would be LTBF. The first name would be the individual's whose obituary you're working on. So if the individual's name is Jane Doe, well, the Jane Doe would go in the first name section, and the last name section would be the LTBF. Now, I have one here, Cousin Pinky's, for example. Let me try to find it. Here in Cousin Pinky's, I'm going to, all right. Here is Cousin Pinky's. Now, as you can see, right here, these are all of her children. But right here, this is not her child. This is an LTBF. That means I have a list of names within this section that needs to be linked. So as you can see, Cousin Pinky's first a nickname and a last name. I'm going to click it. Now, of course, she doesn't have a child named LTBF, but in this case, we're just using this as a little marker. Now, in this case, these are her grandchildren that needs to be linked. When I find out which grandchild belongs to which parent, I will go in, for example, the child's slot, and let's say Leonte. Now I would go in, and since I know Leonte's mother is Hervina, let me see, mother. Give me a second here. Let me find last name. Slappy. Give me 1 second. Okay, I found the last name, the mother's last name. And then I'm going to find, there's the mother's first name. Okay, it's a little fuzzy there. There it is. And then I'm going to click. Then what I'm also going to do, first, now, since this is a grandchild, let's say if Leonte in this situation was a daughter-in-law. Instead of grandchild being here, you would see daughter-in-law. If it was a he and he was the son-in-law, you would see son-in-law. Well, now that I found the link, I'm going to remove the grandchild information. I'm also going to remove that LTBF because I've already found the link. Now, to remove it, I'm just going to switch to parents. And let's say if I didn't know the father yet, I go all the way at the top and click the word none. Okay, so I got the mother. I don't have the father there yet. We can find that later. But most importantly, I found the link. And I'll go down here, click save. So instead of Leonte remaining in the LTBF section, I would go to her mother, let me see, Hervina, and there she is. So she's no longer in the LTBF. Now I go back, and if I found out, let's say, another individual, if I were to find out whose child is Jaquetta, I would go in, click Jaquetta. Okay, I'll go into her edit section and switch parents. Now, let me also tell you, let me see, give me a second, let me go back. Okay, speaking of obituaries, what if you want to put the information, well, in every obituary section, you have in every individual's profile, you have a death section and a birth section. As you can see, there's a little box by birth. This is the birth notes. There's a little box by the death notes. Now, in this section, you're going to write as much information as possible. For example, you're going to write where the person passed, if you know that, what time the person passed, if you know that, the date of the funeral, if you know that, the name of the funeral home, if you know that, where the individual was buried, so on and so forth. You can even include information such as how the person passed, if they died of cancer, so on and so forth. You can add that information. And, it's like the tree is, what would you say, what is it? Like a time capsule. 50 years from now, when family members are looking up the information, and they will have this information available. So again, it's a wealth of information. Often when I go to a cemetery, I'll use my phone and use my GPS, and I'll take a picture of the grave site. Then what I will do, I will take the GPS coordinates and add it to this particular section. So years from now, if somebody wants to find out exactly, where the individual is buried, they will have the GPS coordinates. And so again, you remember the LTBF. That's the last name under the individual's child. And it's not that hard. Just give me a call if you have a problem, and I'll help you through it. Thank you.